Hello there, and welcome to my YouTube Chanel. Chanel? No, that's the perfume. Oh my gosh, what is he doing? Some kind of a pun? Is he starting off with a pun? What is that? Okay, Michael, just do the thing. Hi, I'm Mike. I'm a dentist. I do stand-up comedy. Yeah, so like the pandemic happened, and then I couldn't do stand up anymore because like all of the bars that I would do open mics at shut down. So I needed something else to channel my energy into, and now I'm on YouTube. No, I've been planning on doing some stuff to teach people dental tips online for a while now, and this whole COVID pandemic thing was kind of just a kick in the pants to get it done. Get her done. Now he's quoting Larry the Cable Guy. Yeah, well, just happened. So why start a YouTube channel? Well, I have a interest in trying to help people improve their health, their mental and physical well-being through behavior change and habit change, because I've found personally that's been the most effective way for me to get healthy in various ways in my life. Just trying to spread the love or whatever. I don't think that the power of behavior change is properly utilized in our healthcare system currently. And I'm guilty of that myself as a dentist, as a healthcare provider. I'm a doctor of dental surgery, right? I do little mini mouth surgeries on people. But I don't think that's the most effective way to get healthy. I think culturally we've been trained to think that pills and surgery make you healthy, but to me, it's much healthier to not need the pills and surgery. They're fine if you need them, but there's ways to avoid them, and I think that's better. That's what I would choose for myself. Trying to give you the option to choose that too. Now that doesn't mean that if you need pills and surgery, you should discontinue pills and surgery. But if you can avoid needing it, yep. I don't think that that's the ideal tool, surgery, to address most people's healthcare needs. I think a much more powerful tool that we have at our disposal is communication. Anybody watch SpongeBob? Imagine there was a rainbow that just came out of my hands. I think language is our most powerful human tool by far. Not even close. You've heard the expression, the pen is mightier than the sword. I also think that it is mightier than the dental drill or the extraction forceps or whatever other weird thing that people like me put in your mouth. Personally, in my time working as a dentist, I've sort of been overwhelmed by the unmet dental needs out there, and I've realized that there's no chance that I'm going to be able to meet those unmet needs working with my hands. I don't know what to do with my hands. Chew big red or F you. Ricky, don't you shove that knife in your leg. Yee-hoo. So I've decided that in addition to using my hands to try to help people, I'm gonna use my mouth. That's not exactly a giant intellectual leap, is it, right? Just be like, maybe if I use my mouth, I can help people with their mouths. Most patients are surprised when they hear me talk like this, where I think that habit change is a more powerful tool than anything that I have to offer them with what I do in a dental office. People in our culture have sort of been indoctrinated to believe that pills and surgery and science. Anybody watching Disenchanted on Netflix? Abby Jacobson? Go watch Broad City. Science. We'll just have a pill and a robot arm that'll fix everything. And it's like, look, if you can't take care of the body you already have, we're just gonna screw up our robot bodies too, right? We have to learn how to take care of what we have already. People are always trying to find what's the next thing, how can we replace? We've got a really good starting model in most cases. We just got to learn the proper upkeep. The human body is a magnificent thing. No, I'm just saying, generally speaking, the majority of people have pretty nice teeth to begin with, and if you know how to take care of them, you don't have to put any special robot science parts in there to fix anything. I have a different approach to the way I think people can reach their, peak health and happiness. I was a philosophy major when I was in college, and I get really interested in things like neuroscience and behavioral psychology. Also, as both a dentist and a stand-up comic, I've noticed a lot of really interesting parallels working in those environments. Like ultimately, whether it's a crowd or 3 people at an open mic or a patient sitting in a dental chair, you're ultimately dealing with managing people's emotions, right? Handling their emotional states, and in some cases kind of mildly manipulating them, but for the greater good. You trust me, right? But yeah, managing people's emotional states, not something I've ever been particularly good at in my life. I'm trying to get better. So I've spent a lot of time reading about things like emotional intelligence. That's how you know that you maybe are kind of on the spectrum. You're like reading a book like, oh, people have emotions. Like that's how you learn that emotions are a thing, is by reading about them in your late 20s and being like, that's why all of my interactions with human beings have gone poorly, because I didn't understand what people were feeling emotionally. I got a halfway decent IQ, but my EQ is, ooh. Unfortunately, about 85% of both dentistry and stand-up involve EQ as opposed to IQ. So I'm getting better though. I'm working on it. So on this channel, we're going to get a little zany. We're going to get a little woo-woo. We're going to get a little flippity-doo-dah. Why? Well, most of the time when I try to talk to patients about how they can improve their dental health, their eyes glaze over. They're kind of just like, I'm bored. They play dead in the chair. They look around like, how do I get out of here? Kind of look right through you like they've seen a ghost far away in the past or something. They don't want to be there. They don't like you. Why are you speaking to me? That's the vibe most of the time. They're very disinterested, and I understand. Talking about teeth is boring. Even I get bored with my explanations of things to patients at work as I'm saying it. I'm like, I don't even want to be saying this right now. There's got to be a way to bridge that gap, somehow, right? So that's what this experiment is about. How can I make this not boring for you? I don't know if I can, but I'm gonna try. When I'm at work, I'm kind of stuck trying to play the role of this like serious healthcare provider, because that's what society and most of the institutions that train medical providers of various sorts, culturally expect from healthcare provider people, is you gotta be a source of trust and authority or something. I haven't seen the movie Patch Adams for a long time, but from what I remember, Patch understood that the human connection part, right, that has to come first before you get into the medical mumbo jumbo nitty gritty nonsense. And that's really hard to do in modern American corporatized, commoditized healthcare. Human connection? Bah! That's not going to make us gobs of money in the short term. Why would we ever give a hoot about that? So I'm going to be weird and silly and messy on this channel, and some of you are going to like that, and some of you are going to hate that, and that's fine, and that's good. I'll help who I can help, and the rest of you can flick me off and spit in my cereal. If I tried to present any of this information as some sort of like dental drone or whatever, my guess is most of you would tune out in about 5 seconds. My goal is to somehow find a way to sneak valuable information inside your brain so that you can implement that information for habit changes in your day-to-day life that over the course of a lifetime will make massive differences in your overall health. Now, I'm doing this online because if I tried to do it in a dental office in the same way, I think many people would probably label me insane. Now, am I insane? Yeah, probably a little bit. I mean, if you're not at least a little crazy, are you even really alive? Come on. So for a while here, this is going to be a lot of dental information. And as exciting as that sounds, I promise it's going to be information that people are going to be able to use to avoid problems and save money and all those good things. But over time, it's also going to be other stuff on this channel. Comedy stuff, photography stuff. I really like reading books a lot. So at some point, I'll probably be sharing various useful lessons I've gotten out of books that I've read. The future will be full of many wonderful surprises, as well as great heartache and mischief. I can't give you the exact details on any of that because even I don't really know what's going on right now. You also might notice that many of my videos are a little messy. The sound quality may not quite be right. The music selection is a little off. The lighting, ugh. And that's just because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm kind of learning this all on the fly. I'm sort of going with this self-mocking, clueless, big dumb idiot aesthetic for the time being until I figure it out. I guess I just don't think that things have to be perfect in order for them to be helpful, which is good because I'm a bit of a dingbat with a screw loose, and somebody let me out of my cage when they weren't supposed to, Far from perfect. I've got this thing where the hair grows in on my left shoulder, like the front of my left shoulder is hairy, and my right shoulder is bare. No hair on the right shoulder. My left shoulder covered in hair, like a bear. It's very strange. Very imperfect shoulder hair distribution. I'm not going to be perfect, but also you don't have to have perfect teeth. I don't even know what that would even mean, actually. Trust me, dentists critique the crap out of each other. I believe your mesial line angle on your incisor could have been more naturally inclined in order to refract light in the blue photon spectrum. Just, Hey buddy, I got an idea. How about you shut your pineapple receiver before I have it receive a pineapple wholesale? The point is, if the patient's happy with the treatment, that's the goal. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, and that's okay. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not going to be perfect. We're not going to have any miracles happen here. But the way I see it is maybe I can help somebody who has a F on their dental report card bump up to a C, right? And I can help a C get to a B. And I can help a B get to an A. And maybe I can point an A in the direction of an A+, right? And we'll all just get a little bit of life improvement out of the deal. Little micro habits to improve just a little bit. And also, to all the dental Fs out there who want to stay dental Fs, that is also okay. That's totally cool. I get it. Like, we all have limited amounts of energy to expend in any given day, and sometimes taking care of your teeth isn't a priority, you know? I have other priorities in my life that I'm getting Fs in right now. We all get Fs at something, right? You can't be good at everything. You have to pick and choose. So if you're not interested in improving your teeth and stuff, that's also okay. You do you. You know, I'm making these videos because a lot of this came out of my own frustration working in a clinical dental setting where a dental office has got to be just about the worst learning environment in the history of humankind. People are scared, they're anxious, they don't want to be there, they're nervous about money, they got to get their kids to soccer practice, they're doing work in the chair because we live in end-stage capitalism or whatever people say. You know, they're just like, I got to finish these work emails. Can I do that while you're in my mouth? It's like, I guess. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what can I say or do for this patient in the next 5 to 10 minutes that somehow is going to convince them to understand how behavior modification is going to be the most effective way to maintain their dental health. How can I do that in a way that they're not going to forget everything I say as soon as they walk out the door? Basically mission impossible, you know? I'm sweaty Tom Cruise, suspended from the ceiling, trying not to trip the lasers, and I'm trying to become Les Grossman Tom Cruise from Tropic Thunder, jumping up and down on Oprah's couch. You try to get that image out of your head. And I know I can kind of come across as some sort of like stickler, nerd, dweeb, draconian, dental Gestapo man who's trying to ruin your life. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to judge you and like make you like panic about your choices or anything like that. That's not the goal. I found out actually a while ago that some of my dental assistants were hiding, like stashing like sour gummy worms around the office, and they didn't want me to know about it because that's like bad for your teeth or whatever. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, like you have to hide something from me or anybody else. Like, be you, do you. I'm just trying to give you information so that you can make informed choices, right? You ultimately have to make the choices for yourselves about what's best for your life. I have no idea what's best for your life, but I meet a ton of patients who don't have the right information. I'm just trying to give you the right information so that you can make informed decisions that are best for you. Now, why would a dentist put all this time, energy, effort, blood, sweat, tears, blah, 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 etc., into making YouTube videos? Well, in the end, it's actually all just a trick to get people interested in seeing me do stand-up. No, it's really difficult to create quality stage time for yourself, and that's the only way to get better at stand-up. Stand-up is hyper-competitive, and the only way to get better at it is to throw yourself into the thing and get reps on stage. The writing can only go so far until you're actually in the belly of the beast, performing the thing, trying to figure it out. So really, by helping all of you keep your teeth healthy and save your smiles, I'm also creating opportunities for me to push my art forward. And yes, stand-up is an art form to me, and I will fight you about it if you disagree. So if you're interested in learning about future stand-up stuff that would involve moi, you can sign up for my email list on my website. Email list on my website. I don't think I said that very clearly. Email list on my website. This is where I'm going to put text on the screen, probably. Website. You know, because I'll be honest, I've spent a lot of my life depressed and anxious and angry and you know, real winning combination of emotional states. You know, how to win friends and influence people, the Mike Frank method. Personally, I don't really like being anxious and depressed. I've never really understood the emo kids who like try to make being sad cool. It's not cool. It sucks. That's like the definition of it. It's not fun. I don't think it's good to be anxious and depressed all the time. I also don't think it's good to be like blissed out of your mind and just like happy all the time either. There's a balance in there. Personally, I'm much more interested in what is meaningful in life, and that's, you know, people have different definitions of that. I gotta be honest, I've been on autopilot most of my life. You hear people say stuff like, you know, you gotta live with intention. I've barely ever done that. And from experience, I can say that sort of living your life in the bumper bowling lane on autopilot can lead to a lot of anxiety and depression and anger for various reasons. There's a lot of lies and self-deception baked into living your life on autopilot. I don't want to do that anymore, so I'm dipping my toes in the crazy pool. I realize that was my fingers, but you get it. I'm dipping my toes in the crazy pool. And I'm making some choices for myself, and we're gonna see what happens. If I end up dead, or worse, canceled, it's been nice knowing you, you know? Also, if any of this on my channel comes across as me just complaining, you can ignore that. That's not the goal. The only reason to bring up and discuss problems, in my opinion, when I'm in my right mind, is so that you can move toward productive solutions. That's my goal. So if you are getting like an icky feeling from any of my videos and you're like, this isn't helpful, then stop watching them. There's this whole thing called negativity bias. It's why, you know, cable news is able to hijack your brain and make you feel terrible all the time. I don't want to contribute to that. So if you watch a video and you feel like, Mike's being a real dum-dum in this one, hit the dislike button so I get that feedback and I stop making stupid things. I'll be honest, my default psychological state is more pessimistic. I can be a little bit more of a negative Nancy. I don't like that about myself, but it's just kind of how I am. So, but I try really hard to, you know, be a positive person, and I'm working on it, and that's what I want to do with these videos. So if I'm not being positive, call me out on my BS. So yeah, this is all just like one big silly experiment for me. I'm gonna see what happens. I want your feedback on stuff. I want you to tell me when I'm doing stuff right. I want you to tell me when I'm doing stuff wrong, because then I'm gonna get a little bit better and we're all gonna benefit from that, hopefully. We're gonna run this weird, goofy, completely unscientific, unverifiable, bizarre experiment online, and we're gonna see what happens. Maybe nothing, maybe everything, probably something in between, you know? But I think it's gonna be fun. I bought this this Godox light, the VL150. I bought this for like $400 when I started making these videos, because I was gonna be I had it over here shining light at my face to try to like light me properly or whatever. I don't know if I ever really succeeded. The videos are pretty hit or miss so far with the lighting, but anyway, I only saw about like 5 months of very light use, and it died. You know, it doesn't work anymore. So I bought this on a recommendation from another YouTuber. You know, so it just goes to show you, can't trust everything you see and hear online. maybe that should be my new catchphrase, right? Don't believe everything you read, especially Mike Frank. Sometimes I'm upside down in a mirror in someone's mouth, cutting on their tooth, and I'm just thinking, people let me do this? You know, this is legal right now? You know, James Bond had a license to kill. Mike Frank, licensed to cut teeth upside down in dark holes. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I've rambled enough. You've heard enough of me. Yeah. All right. Okay. Come on, Mike. Just do the thing. Just do the thing.